Aries, hello and welcome to your love reading for the week of August 12th through to the 19th. What is up, Aries? You guys are healing a lot. You're healing on a deep level, and so much respect to all my Aries risings, Aries moon, and Venus for being willing to incarnate under this energy at this time. We have King of Wands, so someone's inner child is a little happy. Felicita. We have the Sun in Leo, so this is our 5th house. And we are giving power to the inner child. We're allowing for the inner child to say, hey, I want ice cream. And we're saying, let's get closer to what we love, darling. We're taking time to really reflect on all the ways that we may have cut ourselves off from our joy and worried our way out of our abundance, because that can happen, okay? We can cause ourselves to lose everything that we've been building out of the repetitive thought patterns. So we're starting a new journey, Aries. We're getting back on the horse. We're saying, giddy up, cowgirl. And we're taking every step forward that we can. I know that we are, because we have the South Node and Black Moon Lilith in Libra, allowing for us to really get clear about who we are and who we're not anymore. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? With this King of Wands, it's saying, with King energy, the king acts as a mediator for God. And when it's in shadow, the king is a little bit too delusional about their power and about being able to control others. With that wand, they might think that they could beat people over the head with it. And this beautiful seer, she's looking out onto the horizon. And just today, I told my husband something. I was like, I was saying this to be nice. This is what I actually want. Are you able to do that? Are you able to come out of your fear? Are you able to be this warrior woman? If not, check out Xena, Warrior Princess. You could probably watch some clips on YouTube. I made a couple memes, and actually TikTok did not let them be seen because they're so gory and violent. But it's like, when we were watching Xena, we didn't have, at least in parts of the world, there was always this sort of level of destruction and Age of Aries type of behavior. But for the most part, it gave me confidence. Watching a woman be so forceful, so mighty, and know how to wield her sword and to claim her right to roam about the world. Have you answered your deepest calling after what is your soul calling you to do? With the Lover's card, it's saying maybe with a partner. Maybe you're meant to do this not by might, not by power, but by spirit alone. And then your spirit's going to call to you someone who loves what you love. They love you for what you love. They love you for standing in your power and coming out of this Hanged Man energy. Boundaries? Where do you need to establish better boundaries? I think the Hanged Man is speaking to this. Like, look at how this is coming. And then after that, this cave, it's like we've been able to retreat, understanding that we need to reflect on the boundaries that we have to have. Aries, we have Aquarius in our 11th house, and Pluto's there. So Pluto is saying, hey, we needed better boundaries anyways. We cannot go where we want to go with people having access to our heart. It's okay to be out public and social. It's okay to put yourself out there, to be online. Some of my favorite people, like I'm watching a lot of Emma Chamberlain and kind of studying her from an astrological perspective. And the thing with her is that she puts herself out there, but she does it in a way to where it's like she can show people who they are by what they have to say about her. And it's that mutable air energy. So I don't know how close, because I don't know her personally. She allows for other people to get into her heart. But Aries, for us to champion our life, for us to answer our soul's deepest calling, we need to have boundaries around, like maybe 8 feet out, to where if someone says something, it deflects off of that Wonder Woman shield, that Xena Warrior Princess boomerang, gets at that word and it cuts it apart before it can even get close to our heart and actually make us feel like insecure. It came up for me yesterday. I saw someone who I think I triggered them immensely because I'm reflecting to them parts of their own shadow that they haven't integrated. We all get triggered. We're human. We're in Earth school for a reason. That's why we're not Ascended Masters yet, because we're maybe even furthering the work that the Ascended Masters can do. We have Trust the Miggle. What's the miggling feeling trying to tell you about the 7 of coins? And I had to make an edit to this card, but essentially it's like, are you just getting kind of like stuck with these feelings of obligation to pleasing other people? Do you feel overwhelmed by how much you've allowed people to have access to you and your world, and you don't really even like them. I think that taking some steps back, cleaning up your social media feed, maybe even cleaning up your inner dialogue is going to really be crucial to embracing more of this childhood joy. The sun from this week, it moves from 17 degrees, 20 degrees Leo to 27 degrees Leo. So we're moving from a passion to an ability to act from that level of outer world connectivity, that collective heart, what the world is asking for at this time. And because it's our 5th house, we're going to feel a need to drop the pension, maybe some of us were working a job that was soul crushing and we have a lot of money saved up because we don't want to get into fears of a lack of abundance, because everything in this world right now is transactional for the most part. Not everything, but oh wow, we have the mirror. Yeah, I think that there's someone who's maybe triggering feelings that are hard to get to the bottom of. So let's see what the Salvador Dali deck has to say about the 7 of Pentacles. Because 7 means that we've been building up our stores. We've been receptive to the help from others. We've been willing to ask for help. But that 7th Pentacle indicates that there's a level of karma that maybe we fear that we're going to lose it all, because that is Neptune, that's 7. Practical advice. In your current situation, you are called upon to look for signs and interpret them. Sometimes even stumbling blocks can give you important clues. Search and find until you see clearly. If you could find your own measure, and I almost said your own muse, you will grow with your tasks and your tasks will grow with you. And the pictorial source for this is Death of the Virgin by Caravaggio. And this, the further guidance is balance sheet. Whether a mountain of hardships and sorrows is already behind us or still to be climbed, this card is all about reviewing results and determining new goals. Are we satisfied with the results of past efforts? Are we triggered by them? Are we afraid that we can't amount to anything more, Aries? Are we happy about the way we have achieved our goals? Like, were we cutting corners and, gaslighting others and or manipulating other people, controlling them to get what we wanted? Our results are the mirror of our lives. Boom. Hello, what do you see? This full moon in Aquarius on the 19th is going to, I think, provide a deep mirror into what we've established as far as the boundaries that we need to establish, or it'll show us very clearly where we're letting go of these tendencies to devalue our work, even to not give ourselves enough credit for who we are and how proudly we stand in our mission, because that could be a part of it too. It's like you might have achieved all these amazing things and you belittle yourself because you're waiting for someone to come and validate you, which it's, we're human. We want attention. It's fine to want attention, but if it makes you unhappy when you're not getting that attention and you don't have any backup plan to support yourself, that's when we need to come out of that energy. The fruits of our efforts will only make us happy and satisfied if we relate to them as a true expression of our authentic selves. Facing contradictions offers a special chance to contemplate the self and to be contemplative. We will gain our own measure and recognize our true talents only by evaluating our own experiences. Each one of us possesses special talents. I feel the Fool card is saying that we're finally starting to look at our special talents as special. We're starting to say, you know what, maybe I'm a forerunner to something that people are going to be doing on the regular because I started it. We have the Holy Grail, stop the endless searching, inner quest. So I love that there's some deer here. There's a red rose speaking to passion. The Holy Grail is within. She even has antlers and the holy eagle of perspective of, I would even say, stopping the chasing and diving into the mystery within, diving into your own quirks and your own energy that's very generative. It feels like with Taurus having Uranus at 27 degrees in the 2nd house, we're starting to build this brick house. She's a brick house. And we're starting to really understand, hey, my quirks are actually very monetize worthy. Let me just keep going with it. Let me double down. So applause For my Aries who've been consistent or have the momentum building to gain consistency with a project or with a passion, and to allow for this 23, which is a shamanic number. It's speaking about knowledge transmitted through feelings and beliefs. And that knowledge is something that the world is thirsty for, even if they don't know it yet. It's something to where it's like, all you have to do is get the qualities around what it is that you're making polished, which we can do during this retrograde period. Bhavatarini, 44. I think this is saying to step into, look at how we have the rose, just a single rose opening, but then there's a whole lay, a floral lay of roses to celebrate all of this accomplishment and achievement. I feel like this is coming. I'll look at the end of the week because right now I have it on Sunday the 11th. And I sense that by the time the sun moves to 20 degrees Leo, which will be on the 12th, from that 20 to the 27th, the full moon in Aquarius that will show us where we haven't yet had those boundaries to support us. We're going to break through, we're going to rupture that cage, and we're going to say, this is exactly where to pour the cement. And we'll know it because it's something that has been coming up throughout our lifetime and bubbling. And we know that we want to not just suppress it, but we want to infuse it with something a little bit heavier to where, you know, those little flies can't get at us. Chris of Minopon Tarot speaks to like crows coming after the eagle, which is in this card. It's coming after, there's no crow in this one, but it's like there might have been words that people have had to say to you, people's opinions that, you know, they voiced in a very non-diplomatic way. They were coming at you as like the Page of Swords. You see this side-eye? Or it might have been your energy. You might have been really frustrated with people who seem to be ahead of you, but now you're starting to look at yourself like, you know what, I'm achieving a lot, and you know, this is just my path. I have a different path to take, and that hanged man energy is speaking to answering the call of your heart. Other people have different calls that they might have learned to answer a little bit earlier, but their karma is going to look different. And you might be there to help them. We got the 7 of fire and the 6 of water. So I sense, okay, so this is defend your beliefs and decisions, stand your ground, choose your battles wisely. Some of these battles might just be from not feeling seen as a child, not feeling welcome to be yourself as a child. Hello, I can definitely relate, okay? So it's just a matter of time and allowing those memories of your childhood to come to the surface, allowing for ourselves to cry. It's okay if we cry. We have Mary with the alabaster jar. Ask questions. I would even say ask your inner child these questions, like find the time during this week of the sun at 20 degrees to 27 to go for a walk, a long walk with yourself, and to just have feelings come to the surface. Maybe play my weekly podcast that I'm going to release another one this week. Maybe you can have time to listen to your favorite album from when you were a child. Maybe there are questions that you have to record and replay as you walk to get to the bottom of what is your soul calling you to do. So let's review. King of Wands with answer the call. Have you been giving your inner child the authority to start making calls in your life, Aries? Warrior woman and the lovers. Is your lover on board with you? Are you wanting to attract a lover based on you answering your call? Is your call to just open up your heart and attract a lover? You have to be real in order for them to really get your vibe and for them to come just knowing you by your energetic signature. The hangman with boundaries and the initiation. We have a rite of passage and better boundaries coming with this full moon on August 19th that is going to rupture where we've been just sort of like letting people get at us, have a direct access to our heart where maybe they didn't deserve it. Maybe they were always coming to us with some stank energy and we are like, you know what, I know better, so I'm going to treat myself in a more loving way. We have the 7 of coins with the miggle and the mirror. So it's saying that there might be feelings that are making sure that you understand how far you've come on your path and actually start to congratulate yourself and not worry so much about what other people are doing. Even though it's hard to see sometimes people who up out the gate, you know, you meet them and they're like on their path and you're just sort of like figuring your way of getting your information out there. And maybe it's because you didn't grow up with that same level of support. Maybe you didn't have the same level of celebration given to you whenever you made accomplishments in your life. With the Fool and the Holy Grail, I think we're starting to understand how valuable our perspective is, and how we just have to show up and be consistent as we start a new journey, and how we will become to be celebrated and seen and regarded very highly upon us getting enough of this Holy Grail. Like if it's one rose at a time, with the inner quest, like we do an inner quest, we get a rose, and we end up with a necklace with like 44 red roses. How many months would that take for us to grow 44 red roses? Start today and you'll be glad you did, right? Then we have Mary with the alabaster jar asks questions, with the 7 of fire and the 6 of water. So to get to the bottom of some emotional childhood issues, soul issues, emotional issues, or emotional concerns, or even passions, we have to choose our battles wisely and stand up within ourselves. So if that voice comes poking and saying, you know what, you can't really do that, or think about all that time that you wasted whenever you weren't doing your passion and your mission, and look at how far ahead everyone else is of you. Just trust the astrology, trust the divine timing, trust the divine flow, Aries. Thank you so much for tuning into your reading. Go on ahead and affirm for me in the comments. I easily follow my heart and intuition, and I will see you all next week. Aloha.